With a honk if you love Jesus, sticker on the bumper of her car.
It's 10 minutes before 11 a.m. March 14th, 2010 edition of Doug Pagitt Radio. Here on AM 950, the voice of the state of Minnesota. Hey, we have a little segment here that I like to call Cripes. Come on, you got to be kidding me. And in this segment, I try to remind us that there are things in this world that are not the way they're supposed to be. There's things in this world that just aren't right. There are things in this world that make us cry out and say, oh, Cripes, come on. You got to be kidding me. But then there are things in this world that are right, that are the way they're supposed to be. And we have choices to make. Are we going to be people who allow the world to be made up only of the Cripes and then come on and you got to be kidding me? Or are we going to be people who make the world the way we desire it to be, the way we want it, the way others want it? Lo and behold, the way God wants it to be. Are we going to be those kinds of people? And so I come up with these. Now, this morning I went off to play basketball for a little exercise. I'd had a long week, and even though golfing is a sport, when you play with a cart, it's not exercise. So I'd gone a full week without any decent exercise. So I was really feeling the need. I had to fly in an airplane yesterday and I had to connect through Salt Lake City. So I had this very long sitting day, and I was in this tiny little airplane that are just abusive to people who are, well, I don't know how big you'd need to be, but 6'7" like I am, abusive to my legs, physically harmful and damaging to my legs. And I keep saying to the people at Delta, don't you have to accommodate just regular old passengers so they can sit in a seat and not be in pain for hours? But anyway, I was crammed into this little seat, and I'm reading my book, and then I flew on another plane, had the exit row, so I had a little bit more leg room, but then, you're still crunched in. And so I sat for like 7 hours yesterday, right? Like in that seated position, just felt bound up. So this morning before I came into the show, I said, you know what I need to do? I need to get a little exercise. And so went to the health club that I am a member of, and I know that some of the people that I play basketball with on Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings play on Sundays. So I go over there to play with these good folks. And I'm playing, and I felt myself being a little dehydrated, Grover, I got to tell you. I knew I was a little dehydrated because I traveled all day yesterday, and, there's stuff, that goes on when you're away like that and gets you a little dehydrated when you're out in the sun, if you know what I'm saying. And so I felt a little dehydrated, and I was worried about my calf. I was worried about my right calf, and I don't mean my animal in the barn. I mean right there on just below my leg, just below my knee. I was worried about it because sometimes I pull that calf muscle. So I'm playing for about 40 minutes, and this outlet pass comes out to the left side of the court, and I start bringing it up, and there's a guy that's going to come up and try to defend me, and I got to do the magic. So I cut hard left with the ball on the left side, so he goes to his right to try to defend me. I cross him over, meaning I dribble the ball back in front of myself to the right hand, explode off my right calf to the basket, pull my calf muscle. Made the basket. No! Pull my calf muscle. And you know what I yelled out? Cripes. Right there. Cripes. It hurts so bad. It hurts right now. I've been writhing in pain right in here. I mean, my whole calf hurts. It's so irritating. So I don't know about the rest of it, but if anybody has a nagging injury, and I know I have this nagging injury, and I try to stretch it, and I try to make sure I drink enough, and I didn't do those things, and so now it's going to hurt for a week. Now I'll go a whole other week without being able to exercise like that. You know what I'll have to do is go swimming again. I don't like swimming. You see that newspaper article about the guy at the Y that was pulled out of the bottom of the pool, the drowning guy? I don't want to drown in the bottom of the pool. So anyway, I got a big cripes going on in my own leg today. Unbelievable. My come on goes from that last segment, goes out to Glenn Beck and the rest of the people that get all wound up about the guy. Come on. Let's simmer down. Let's all take a breath and realize that, of course, we should do good things for other people out of human and religious obligation. Anybody who says that we shouldn't, come on. I mean, I think we should start that on our blog. I think when stuff like that goes up, rather than writing big, long editorials and people boycotting and people getting all wound up, just let out a really subtle little, come on. Knock it off. But you know what you got to be kidding me is? Saw this in the paper today. The Mall of America, where my Santa Claus goes, yesterday they found the body of a guy by the parking garage. Apparently he jumped off the parking garage. Terribly sad story, right?
Kind of an issue for them over there.
Well, that's what I come to find out. Last week, the police were chasing a guy through the parking garage. He runs at the 7th story and jumps off.
Geronimo.
Jumps off at the Mall of America. You got to be kidding me. There's people jumping off the parking garage at the Mall of America. I don't want to make light of the desperation that someone might find themselves in, because that's right. If you're at a point where your life is not going in such a way that allows you to have the choice of ending it, that's a very deep, dark, painful place to be. But the parking garage at the Mall of America? You got to be kidding me. I had no idea. I had no idea that you know, I don't know what kids are pulling up there. Oh, good thing it didn't happen around Christmas time, because my Santa Claus would have been all thrown off by that. Terrible deal. This guy jumps off the parking garage at the Mall of America. You got to be kidding me. I had no idea things like that had happened. I had no idea that things like that went on. I didn't know that there were people in such dire straits that the place that they choose is the parking garage at Mall of America. That just kind of wigs me out, the whole dealio. The whole thing kind of pushes my proverbial buttons. So there's things in this world that aren't the way they're supposed to be. Like a guy who's got a chronic injury in his calf, and all he wants to do is go get a little exercise. Just wants to go out and push himself a little bit in the morning. Just wants to make something a little bit better. Just wants to put in a good morning of some enjoyable exercise. And I pull my calf muscle, and now I'm going to be in pain all day and have to sit out for a week. Cripes. Glenn Beck and all the people that get all wound up about him. No more energy should go to this guy than a good, solid, come on. I wonder who owns comeon.org.
You do.
I sure should.
Well, you should.
I should have until I said it now. Yeah, somebody's going to go on and get it. Watch out, Mr. T. Comeon.org. Maybe somebody can look that up and see who's got comeon.org and comeon.com. We can just put pictures of these people on there. And then you got to be kidding me. 2 people in 1 week jumping off the parking garage at the Mall of America. I mean, there are things in this world that are just not the way they're supposed to be, which is why at the end of the second segment, we're going to be reminded that there are things in this world that are right, things that are right on, things that are the way that we want them to be. So we're reminded that we live in a world that's not perfect yet. We're living in a world that's not the way it's supposed to be. We're not even living in a world that we could be satisfied with yet. But then there are times when things are just the way they're supposed to be. And we'll make choices to be people who make the world the way we want it and not just the way that we find it. It's our little call here on Doug Pagitt Radio on AM 950 and DougPagittRadio.com. Be back here after the break with the author of Perfection.
Just flipped off by a silver-haired old lady.